Around to kill me.
Yeah, I see him.
He's coming up on me. There you go. That was fucking rad.
Illyria. Guillermo! Somebody look at Illyria!
Oh shit! Fuck! Where was that? Where did that happen? Fuck, I'm in the wrong side. God damn! I got iced. Ah, the wall! The wall!
One's down.
Yep. Yo! That's really good! That's really good! Yes! Woo!
Why is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds so popular, so laggy, so hard, addicting? Why is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds so good? I hear these questions frequently, and after nearly 80 hours of playtime with Brendan Green's Arma 3 mod turned internet craze, I think I'm starting to understand the answer. Boot up PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, henceforth referred to as PUBG, PUBG, Battlegrounds, or Murder Island, and you'll find a game that's quite rough around the edges. 20% of the time, the game won't even run on my MSI GE series that's configured with a GTX 970M graphics card. There's nothing quite as infuriating as receiving a network error while running from your impending doom, only to watch your character get swept away by a swift and unfair death. I can't remember a game previously that caused me as much frustration, anger, and apparent memory leaks as Battlegrounds has. Yet it's one of my favorite games of the year. So why is PUBG so popular? Why is it so good? Well, it all comes down to tension, happenstance, and ultimately, fear. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is a battle royale game wherein players parachute onto an island with nothing but the clothes on their back. Think Hunger Games, Schwarzenegger, and The Running Man, that mid-2000s movie with Stone Cold Steve Austin, or the actual battle royale movie. Anyways, the win condition of the game is to be the last man standing, the one person or squad who manages to successfully collect enough gear and firepower to navigate their way through countless sniper scopes, stressful firefights, creepy apartment buildings, and soul-crushingly vast wheat fields, all while being tailed by a blue force field that will quickly end the player's life if they find themselves outside of its circumference. There's also the fact that there are literally 100 other players surrounding you, all of whom are moving around the island with their own ever-changing motives and strategies. It's a dynamic unlike any I've ever experienced before.
I'm out of ammo. I got shotgun left.
Guns you got for me, bud.
PUBG isn't the first battle royale game. There's actually quite a few of them. However, it's the only one in the genre that seems so heavily focused on self-preservation, whereas other titles feel like some sort of sociopathic sport. H1Z1, which is the most similar to Battlegrounds in format, contradicts the sense of tension it tries so hard to build due to oversaturated colors and a looming fog of war that distorts the game's sense of scale. The culling has an actual announcer who constantly slanders opponents with grating commentary. I'd argue that Brendan Green and company managed to capitalize on their competitors' weaker aesthetic and mood, both of which contribute to an overwhelming sense of tension in Battlegrounds. There's no guarantee of the caliber of loot or weapons one will discover while pillaging through houses and industrial complexes. I once watched as a squad mate spent 25 minutes of our roughly 30-minute match searching for anything besides a pistol or machete. Other times, it's as if the Murder Island deities are smiling down upon their entertainment, showering players with AKM, scars, or if they're lucky, an AWM with an 8x scope. Battlegrounds is a game of luck and happenstance, one by which players surrender control upon entering. It's a lottery which doesn't deal in absolutes, and it's the gambling of one's most precious asset, time. What do you fear most? What haunts you? What keeps you up in the dark hours of the night? For many of us, for me at least, it's the unknown, which is exactly where PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds plants itself. Should I open this door? What happens if I stand up instead of laying prone? Should I sprint across this field to more quickly arrive at an advantageous position and risk being seen? Is it worth attempting to loot this power plant even though I'm only armed with a Glock? Should I flee or stay to fight the disorienting voices that are pushing closer and closer to my hideout? I often say that the core philosophy of this game is more in line with old school RPGs than modern shooters, as each singular playthrough is simply a series of choices that make up the larger experience, and the only question is, will this be the decision that kills me?
I'm gonna move in on him. We got a car coming up on us.
At the door.
What's that? Oh, I see him. I see him. I see him. Good job. That's both of them.
From the onset, this coincidental nature of Battlegrounds breeds fear in the new players, and while seasoned players eventually adopt a more aggressive playstyle, the inherent trepidation associated with the game never truly dissipates. We've just learned how to cope with it. In this world, even the most innocuous task suddenly possesses excessive weight. For example, in modern multiplayer games, vehicles don't pose much of a threat as they exist in a reality wherein there's always a countermeasure. In Battlegrounds, however, even the most dinky sedan is transformed into a symbol of hope or hopelessness, as transportation serves as a direct currency for convenience and power. There's nothing quite as unsettling as the sound of a sputtering engine in the distance, especially when isolated from one squad. I've spent many a time frozen in place while waiting for an oncoming Jeep to pass me by, and on several occasions have watched in disbelief as vehicles have ignorantly sped past my rigid frame, barely missing their opportunity to end my playthrough. In any other game, we'd laugh situations like this off. In PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, this fearful disbelief, coupled with a sense of awe, serves as a dark comedy which pushes players further and further into Brennan Green's sadistic romp. I've never played a game as risky as Battlegrounds. The lowliness one feels after losing a match they've just poured 45 minutes into is unmatched, but with such high stakes come even greater reward. I'll never forget the boisterous feeling of dominance I felt after winning my first match. It's a kind of dominance that's soaked in both emotion and relief, and it's one that leaves your hands shaking in the aftermath. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate high. Tension, happenstance, and fear. One cannot exist without the other, and they all work together to create the perfect storm. They're the twisted and hellish parallel to sugar, spice, and everything nice, a trio that mixes together so easily to create one of the most spellbinding potions I've ever tasted. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Thank you so much for checking out this video. Your feedback is important to us. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment to let us know what you think. You can find similar videos, podcasts, and articles on okbeast.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at okbeastnow. For everything games and culture related, make sure to keep it locked right here on OKBeast.